Good morning guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sarah and this is Shorty. If you're new here, I am following the process of taking this 2-year-old from being an unhandled stallion to a very nice gelding. So we are gonna do some work on getting him ready for the saddle today. He is a bit of a scruffy mess from last night, so I gotta get him out, groomed, braided, and ready so that we can start working. Well, he's pretty good when it comes time to getting out. I'm gonna take off his fly mask here, which he's a little funny about the Velcro still. Where is there? Okay, I said he was a little funny about the Velcro and then he didn't care about it today, so progress. And I've been working on getting him to just be chill at the gate when it's time to get him all haltered up. And this is his new Naughty Girls. I can't speak. It's his new Naughty Girls halter, so he looks pretty spiffy. I need to get him, his braids are all a mess. If you guys have been looking for some nice halters, I've got a code from Naughty Girls and it'll be in the description below and you guys can pick it out. But let me go ahead. So today my goals are to get him tacked up. I want to work a little bit on our in-hand work. So I've really been wanting to challenge myself with Shorty. I've been seeing more trainers do where they start their horses, and if they don't have like a show career planned for them, they're training these horses completely bridleless. So you just have the neck rope and you never actually ride them in a bridle or a hackmore or anything. So that's kind of the direction I've been wanting to play with Shorty. But that doesn't mean we skip any steps. We still got to go through the same type of groundwork. So I'll take you guys on how I've been doing that one. So we did have one little minor, thankfully minor mishap the other day with him. We were out, he was turned out in the pasture and I was petting his nose. It was like the evening, so I normally will hose off both the horses and everything before they come in, just to get any sweat off their backs and stuff. And I was standing in front of him and I was literally standing right in front and just petting his nose. And I don't know if it was a deer or something else came out and spooked the living daylights out of him. Like, biggest spook he's had, but I was standing directly in front of him. Luckily, he didn't charge forward and run me over. He turned just enough to not murder me, but he did step pretty hard on my left foot. So my foot is currently purple, like 50 shades of purple, and it was kind of swollen the first day, but yeah, so that was fun evening. And he's like, he looks to you for safety. That's kind of his big thing, is he needs confidence. So he spooked really hard. He ran off completely. He even got Vhagar to run off. And then he came and he was trying to like snuggle up to me as I was going through the pain of having my foot completely crushed. So luckily nothing's broken and everything's fine, but that was not fun. I was out here in the evening, so I wasn't even in boots. I was wearing like my running shoes, so they're just like really soft sneakers. So I had no protection basically. So I got my boots on today. There we go. Okay. And I'm probably not gonna brush his tail this morning. I'm letting it be a little wild and free for a minute. But I am gonna go ahead. Let's see. Leave his tail be wild and free. It is too thick for me to just put like a regular band in it. And then these, I'm just gonna redo one solid braid just so it's not hot, because it's cooler today, but it's a little humid this morning. I think we might get some rain, so I'm just gonna try and get this up off his neck. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix his hair and we'll be right back. Okay, so I got Shorty all braided up. If you are curious on how I do my working braid, I do have a video. I'll link it in the description. Just a really simple French braid to get all his mane up off his neck so that he doesn't have anything keeping him hotter than necessary. So I want to give you guys a little update on Vhagar. I know I posted a video about some of the medical stuff we're going through, and we've been going through different testing and working with our vet, and I want to give you guys an update. So we're going to walk over to her so I can do that with you guys. So Vhagar is over here.
Hopefully he's down.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't pop his quick release, but I think he'll be okay because we're not too far. He's thinking about it though. So this is Vhagar. She is way more interested in eating her alfalfa than speaking with the camera right now. But we're still kind of trying to figure out what is going on with her. We're making a bit of diet adjustment. She was doing alfalfa pellets. We're trying fresh alfalfa to see if that makes a difference for her. And our vet has recommended some supplements that we're gonna be starting her on. But the complicated thing with Vhagar is we've done different blood tests. We've tested vitamin E. We've done some genetic testing on her as well. And all of her tests come back normal. Right now, the working theory is that she's got some sort of primary muscle disorder going on. So something similar to PSSM, but we know she doesn't have PSSM1 because we did do the genetic testing. So we're still kind of in this limbo of what is exactly going on with her. But we're gonna start treating for primary muscle disorder and see if that makes a difference. And hopefully we can get her working out a little bit better and get her top line to fill out so she can just be a bit healthier. Luckily, it's just her body condition that seems to be affected. I mean, she still eats, she's got a great appetite. She still is the instigator out in the pasture when the horses are out. She's the one pushing Shorty and trying to get him to play with her and run around because he's more of an energy conserver than she is. So thankfully, she is still happy and energetic, and she's got a great quality of life. But we do want to see what we can do to make that even better for her. So that's just a little update on Vhagar. We're still trying to work things through, but I wanted to keep you guys in the loop because I know a lot of people express their concern in the comments. And we had a lot of people recommend some of the tests that we did end up doing or had already done. So I just want to give you guys a little bit more of an update. So if you've been waiting for a training update video on Vhagar, right now our vet has recommended that she doesn't do any training because we're not sure what specific muscle disorder she has. So training could be beneficial or it could be harmful depending on which one it is. And since we don't know, we're erring on the side of caution, and she's just getting turnout and diet changes and treatment for now. So we won't do any training videos, but we will keep you guys updated on her progress and how everything's going. But let's go ahead and go back to Shorty. He's been waiting semi-patiently over at the trailer. And let's get him tacked up so we can work with him. A manure pile to clean up, but other than that, you were pretty good. So this will be interesting. Some days I will saddle him from the left, some days from the right. Pad, I like to just put on either side. Move his braid out of the way. But the saddle, I'm gonna put it on from the other side just because it's less hassle with all the girth and everything. Oh, let me get his saddle all set up and then we're gonna go ahead and put it on. Oh shoot. Okay. There. Here you go, buddy. And lift that pad up in front for his withers. Let's go ahead and get everything all situated. He's gotten really good about saddling. As you guys can see, before he would stand still, but he would still act kind of nervous. Now he's a bit more curious. Sometimes he'll get engaged and actually like sniff the saddle and stuff, but he's really settling into a routine now. But we're gonna go ahead and, yeah. He does always like look at the girth, which he's a bit more hesitant about the girthing part. But as long as you keep it, like, we don't go straight tight right away. And I don't like to keep my girth that tight anyway. So we'll just go with that for right now until we move them. But good job. And for right now, so today my goal is, he's been doing a lot better lunging. I would like to do some ground driving with him and then also do a little work with the neck rope. But let me go ahead and get the long reins and get him all hooked up so that we can go ahead and work on that. So if you guys remember from my previous videos, I did go ahead and modify this saddle a while back. So it has rings in it for ground driving instead of using a surcingle. So he gets the full feeling of having a saddle, but we can still do structured in-hand work. And it's a little bit, I like having the rings as opposed to putting the lines through the stirrups, because this is a little bit more secure. It's not gonna have the, because you can have the line come out here or go closer and everything if you put the line through the stirrup. And also it's higher, so it's a bit closer to where, as your hands will be up here when you're riding, so you don't wanna teach the cues from way down here. I think that affects them mentally, so I like to have it a bit closer. But just with the shape of the saddle and everything, I'm not able to put, or I don't want to put the driving reins through here because I feel like it's a higher risk to get everything mixed up. But now that he is hooked up, I'm gonna go ahead and put this over his butt. And then what I do with his lead when I'm driving him is I like to go ahead, and that's what I will use this ring for, is I'll go ahead and just put this little lead through the ring, and then his reins will hang out right there. I would like to keep him either in the hackamore, or I am really wanting to try and push myself and have him be completely bridleless from the start. So that does require a little bit of, I don't know if I would say extra steps, but it's a bit more of, you want to be really clear with your steps. I mean, you should always be clear when you're starting them, but you have, I wouldn't say more control, but you have a different style of control when you're using something on their head versus if you just have a neck rope. So I'll show you guys a little bit more of that once we drive him for a minute. But we're just gonna do a little bit of driving to get him out, to get him seeing. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead. This will be kind of new. He hasn't seen the trailer since I put the tarp on it, so. Yeah. Come on. There we go. He can be a little slow to start depending on the morning, but it's mostly slow to leave wherever Vhagar is. So he enjoys his buddy time, but he's getting better about understanding that we can go do our work and then we'll come back and we'll still be with Vhagar. So. But he's really light on the driving reins for the most part. He's getting better about understanding his cues. And so we've just been really focusing on making sure we keep everything pretty light for him. And that seemed to make a really big difference. So if you guys have seen since the beginning, or if you decide to go back and look at some of our older videos, he was a bit dull. He had a tendency to try and drag people and run off. And he's gotten so much better about that. And now he's more willing to work and kind of communicate through the process instead of just hightailing it out of the situation. He's still not the best at ground poles. He kind of likes to just stomp on all of them. Whoa. Whoa. And then he kind of like stomps through them and then trots away. But he's trying now. He used to just be like too scared to go over them, but now he's willing to at least try. So I like to go do 2 laps one way and then 2 laps the other way, just to kind of get him thinking. And I don't think he will stop if he needs to go to the bathroom. But I don't think that's kind of his deal this morning. But we're just working on getting him thinking forward, but controlled forward. So we're gonna come back through these again. And yes, they're a little bit wonky, but that's kind of the point, because if he will be a trail horse, the trails are not always perfect. So I want him thinking of picking up his feet in the moment and not necessarily just knowing set distances. Yeah. So, and any of you guys are worried, the fence is not on right now, so even if he bumps it, he won't get zip zapped. But I like to bring him under this tree so that if he hears this crinkle, so he's just getting more desensitized, hearing the sounds of things brushing above his head. He's gonna try and eat the tree now. And then we head for the poles. That was my fault, I didn't keep that outside rein. But the poles are purposefully wonky so that he gets used to stepping over logs and stuff for if you're out on a trail ride and you gotta walk through some different terrain. He can get a feel for that. I can actually. So take him in. I don't think I take him back here too much, but he does come back here because Shorty's one of those horses. Yeah, we'll go out that way. He's one of those horses that will go to the bathroom in a stud pile. So he's extra polite, and sometimes when he's turned out, he will go ahead and drop his most recent on the manure pile for you. No. And you know, he's gone there before because he had no qualms about it. He knew how to get through that space. So he's been really good about exploring the full pasture. Vhagar prefers to stay where everything is already open, and Shorty's paving a new path forward. So he's a bit adventurous. We've gotten a lot of comments about people who are concerned that we are working towards starting our 2-year-old. And grant you, right now it's already August, so it's towards the end of the 2-year-old year, or middle end of the 2-year-old year. But a lot of people are commenting that, you know, there's a bunch of research out there saying that you shouldn't start a 2-year-old, or that they don't agree with starting a 2-year-old. And I'll be honest, what I've always classically done is started a horse at 2 or 3. Every horse that I've had has been started as a 2-year-old, and they've had long healthy careers. So I do want to take y'all's thoughts and opinions into account. So I'm going to be looking through these different research articles. I've got a few on my desk already that I've been reading through. And then I have some trainers that I'm looking through their stuff. Here you go. Whoa. Vhagar's like, why are you guys running? I love running. So I'm going to be looking through these different research articles. I've been through the research databases myself to pull some articles. And then I'm also going to have AI go and pull some more articles for me. And I'm going to be reading through all that stuff so that I can have a more educated approach on that topic. Yeah, And I'm gonna make a video on it so that you guys can see whatever I find. I feel like so many people online will comment their opinion of, well, you should start him because that's what they've always done, or you shouldn't because it's not right. But, or they say there's research, but no one's actually like ever shared the research that I've seen. I've seen people will share like magazine articles or anecdotals, but not actual like scientific research. So that is what I am looking for. If you have specific scientific research articles that you recommend or that you feel like cover this topic well, definitely leave them in the comments below. I'm going to be reading them through them, but I will be sharing what I find with you guys so that we can be learning together. Because I just, to me, a magazine article is not a sufficient research article. Like I want it to be a legitimate scientific article, peer-reviewed. Yeah, peer-reviewed and published. So that's what I'm looking for. But he's been doing really good with driving. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out his tack a little bit so I can show you guys what I've been doing for in-hand work with him. So I've switched out our tack. Shorty now has a neck rope, and I did attach a lead to the neck rope just so that I have a little bit more connection to him as we're going through these beginning phases. But we've been doing pretty solid. I've been pretty happy with his work. Oh, Shorty has gotten really good at coming to pick you up to mount, so I'm gonna start with that. There we go. Ooh. So that was a little bit more wiggly than he normally does, but that's kind of, I want to show you guys that's his default behavior. If he's a little unsure when we're doing in-hand work, his go-to is to try and pick you up, so he'll bring his shoulder to you. So we're just working through that. We've got saddle going, but let's go ahead and do a little bit in a circle. So this is where it gets a little bit more complicated because he thought about picking me up. And now I'm trying to bring him back focused. So this is just getting him to listen to the neck cues and stay in his circle. So you guys remember from the beginning, the lunging, this would have seemed impossible, and now he's going just off life pressure. Ooh. And I do like him to look for me when we're doing this. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. So I want him to be the lightest giraffe in the world. If you saw that little, like he decided to lift his back and hold himself just a bit nicer, and that's why I immediately asked him to stop, do a big reward. I've been trying to capture that with him. So let's try to see if he'll do it again. He's a bit better going to the right. He's distracted by the camera, wants to go say hi. Come on. There. Whoa. Yeah. He's got brakes, that's for sure. This is just a warm-up. I've been working towards getting him working off lead, but it takes a lot of focus and connection. So, whoa. There we go. So since he's starting to pay a bit more attention, I'm gonna go ahead and unclip him and get him working off lead. I'm gonna toss this rope out of the way. Scary rope, but so I've been working on getting him to follow, and he's getting pretty good at it. Would like for him to follow a bit more on my side instead of directly behind me. Oh, I lost him. Oh, there we go. So this is just a lot of reading his body language. He likes to run sometimes. Ooh, good boy. But he's getting a lot more connection. There we go. Ooh. So we're working on getting him to be the lightest draft horse in the world. Bluetooth connection, Bluetooth reins.
Oh, you lost.
I lost him. I lost the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth connection tapped out for a second. Reconnecting Bluetooth. Distracted by doggo. Reconnecting Bluetooth now. Come here. Reconnecting Bluetooth. Come on.
Bluetooth connection.
Bluetooth connection. Oh. There we go. Come on. Yeah, come on.
Oh,
Whoa.
connection.
There we go. Bluetooth connection established. So it's very much a work in progress. I know it looks a little wonky at the moment, but it's been a lot of progress for him. It takes a lot of focus and connection to get a horse to even be coming and following and doing all that. He's like, connection. You're connected to the camera. All right, so with that in-hand work, so we've been doing on the line, and then I've also been doing just like I did with Vhagar with the bridle. So asking him to walk forward and come around. And then, so he's got it for that side. Then we come and do the same on this side. So, ooh. So forward. There we go. And then come around. There we go. And that was just one light bump. So I'm trying to get him to where he's essentially...
You're using like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Which is super light.
So I'm holding the range and just barely touching him. He's essentially learning to neck rope before ever having anything on him. So next steps for Shorty, I'm feeling pretty good about him. He's been doing good with his groundwork training. I'd like to do more with the Liberty work just because I enjoy it, and he seems to be pretty curious about it as well. I would really like for him to be real light, real responsive with the training and the work, but he's coming along really well. I feel pretty confident that at this point I could swing a leg over him and go for a ride and actually ride him with a neck rope. But I want to look at that research and just really make the best decision for him in the long run. So that is our next step for him, is reading the research and deciding, do we swing a leg over or do we pause and wait till spring? So that is what we are looking at right now. So if you guys want to follow along on the journey, see how that decision goes, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you're enjoying our videos and want to see more of them, hit those like buttons, drop your comments. We really appreciate all the support. It means so much to this channel and it makes a big impact for us. But thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to set your heart ablaze.